And Susie, I'll call on you right after me. How about that? And you just, whew. All right, are we on? Okay. Wow, okay, we all made it, guys, on a beautiful day. It didn't snow, didn't rain. Doesn't look like it's going to. So, 1 in 10 children will be sexually abused before they turn 18. A majority will not tell for at least a year, and half of the victims will wait more than 5 years before telling, and 90% of cases will never be reported. 90% of offenders are known to their victims, their family, neighbors, community members, babysitters, coaches, authority figures. Child abuse truly is a community problem. Today, you've planted 131 pinwheels to represent each child and family that came to the Children's Advocacy Center in 2020, to represent the belief that every child deserves to grow up in a safe, supportive, and nurturing environment free of abuse, that every child deserves to be heard, and even more importantly, believed. The sign out front that you see says, "See something, say something." 2020 brought many challenges, but if we've highlighted anything over the last year since COVID began, it's how important reporting is to preventing or stopping child abuse. If you have a suspicion of child abuse, please report it to Childline and to our local Children Youth Services. And although April spotlights child abuse prevention awareness, it is vital that we as a community work to keep children safe all year round by being vigilant in our prevention efforts. Do not let today or this month be the only time you think, what more can I do? It only takes one person to effectuate change, and today, you are all that person. By showing up, you're telling our children that you care and that they are important. Thank you to our partners who work to keep children safe and supported, our child protective services, our law enforcement officials, our medical providers, our advocates, our clinicians, and the district attorney's office. They all humbly work towards keeping our children safe in our community. A huge thank you to the following people who made this happen today. Jerry from Rad Graphics for making a donate and donating the See Something, Say Something banner. Smethport Elementary School administration, teachers, and students for all the colorful pinwheels that you'll see up and down Smethport Main Street and throughout our county. All of the businesses for allowing us to put up pinwheels and posters in Smethport and throughout the county. Nina Burdick and Diana Ewing for the water. McKean's Bus Garage and Judy Carlson for driving folks back to Smethport Fire Hall. Chief Pat Warnick and Officer Kevin Murray for all the support in setting this up. But last but not least, the family who made this event possible. You're beyond brave, you're fierce. Susie Meyer-Page.
Hi, I'm Susie Meyer-Page. I'm Executive Director of CASA of McKean County. Would like to thank the people that organized this to allow me to speak today. So I'll give you a little description about CASA so you know why we are connected with abuse victims. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates for Children. We train community volunteers to advocate for abused and neglected children in the foster care or child welfare system. Authorized by the Juvenile Act, the CASA serves as the eyes and ears of the court by providing information that the judge needs in order to make a decision that is in the child's best interest. So a trained CASA volunteer will investigate the child's circumstances, provide fact-based information, and make written recommendations to the court. Up to this date, we have trained 50 volunteers and have served 85 children since the first volunteer class was sworn in May 2015. CASA's goal is to advocate for every child in the system, but because we currently don't have enough volunteers, we are falling way short of that goal. We currently have 20 volunteers advocating for 24 children, and right now there are currently about 80 to 90 children in CYS care. So as you can see, we've fallen short from that goal, and that's why we are always recruiting for volunteers throughout the year. There may be some confusion about the difference between the Child Advocacy Center and CASA, because we both have the word advocacy in the name. I know that, I don't know if it's the same with CAC, but people will think we're the other and it will get mixed up. So just to let you know, we both do advocate for abused, neglected children, but typically at different times throughout the case. CASA provides CAC provides the forensic interviews and victim support in a child abuse case, while CASA provides the independent voice for children and presents information and written information about the child to the court. So our investigations are not forensic in nature. We are not trying to determine if abuse or neglect has occurred. We talk with family members, schools, mental health providers, anyone that's really connected with that child. So for our program, we only do take referrals if they are from CYS, the guardian ad litem, who is an attorney appointed to in the best interest of the child, the court, or attorneys involved in the case. So the child that we would serve is only involved if CYS has custody. To close, I think that this event is a great way of educating the public about the process of how to proceed when there is abuse or suspected, I have a hard time with that word, suspected abuse. Reporting suspected abuse right away is the best way to assure that the child is safe from further abuse if in fact abuse has occurred. So if you have any trepidation about making a report of suspected abuse, in case there really might not be abuse going on, keep in mind that if there is in fact abuse occurring, you will help that child be safe sooner. Thanks and have a good day.
Our next speaker will be Wayne Foltz, who is the Smethport mayor. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Glad everyone showed up. Great show of support. I want to start out with thanking all the caseworkers, the volunteers, paid, law enforcement, the judicial system, just everyone involved to help change the lives of these kids and help move them forward. I know someone that personally went through all this, and you don't know what to say to them, how to help them. It's a tough thing. So to know this support system is here is great. And as the sign states, just hope people take action and don't stay quiet and help these kids. It's quite an event to get past and move forward in their life. And if that support system isn't there, it may affect them for their entire life and in a negative way. Appreciate everyone coming out, and thank you.
And now the McKean County District Attorney, Stephanie Vettenberg-Schaefer. Thank you, Stephanie.
Good morning, and thank you so much for coming. All the little people are just so cute today, and the adults are good looking too. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and this is the second year in a row that we are faced with widespread isolation due to COVID. And a child has less of a voice during COVID, in isolation in general, less of an opportunity for their voice to be heard. While isolation is recommended to prevent illness, it creates an increased opportunity for child abuse to occur and an increased likelihood that it will not be reported. The outside adults who normally see a child and are the eyes on the child, such as the teachers, coaches, and parents of their friends, don't see the children as they normally had, and they don't have the opportunity to be that child's voice. The District Attorney's Office and the McKean County law enforcement community call on everybody here to fill that void. We are asking that everyone take an active approach to being the voice for the children in your community. Don't let isolation be the reason that child abuse stays hidden. We're asking that you watch the children in your neighborhood and in your stores and ensure that those children see you as a safe adult in your community. Be seen as the voice of a child and be the voice of a child. Thank you so much for coming.
And lastly, we'll have Tanya Hartzell, who's the family advocate from the Children's Advocacy Center.
Hi, everyone. You might have heard me share this story before from an unknown source. I'll share it every chance I get. It's a story about a simple yet powerful greeting from a tribe in Kenya. Among the most accomplished and fabled tribes of Africa, no tribe was considered to have warriors more fearsome or more intelligent than the mighty Maasai. It is perhaps surprising then to learn the traditional greeting that passed between the warriors. And how are the children? It is still the traditional greeting among the Maasai, acknowledging the high value that they always place on their children's well-being. Even warriors with no children of their own would always give the answer, all the children are well. Meaning, of course, that peace and safety prevail, that the priorities of protecting the young, the powerless, are in place. that society has not forgotten its reason for being, its proper functions and responsibilities. All the children are well means that life is good. It means that the daily struggles for existence do not preclude proper caring for their young. I wonder how it might affect our consciousness of our own children's welfare if in our culture we took to greeting each other with this daily question, and how are the children? I wonder if we heard that question and passed it along to each other a dozen times a day, if it would begin to make a difference in the reality of how children are thought of or cared about in our own country. I wonder if every adult among us, parent and non-parent alike, felt an equal weight for the daily care and protection of the children in our communities, in our towns, in our state, in our country. I wonder if we could truly say without any hesitation, the children are well, yes, all the children are well. I've always considered it a privilege to work in this field as an advocate. To have kids, teenagers, caregivers allow me, a total stranger, to join them on their path to healing. Trusting me with their stories, thoughts, and feelings. Their strength amazes me on a daily basis. And at the end of every single day, it isn't about me. It isn't about any of our team members. It's about the child and the family that have experienced the unimaginable, searching for answers for the new journey they never expected to begin. It's an honor to share the words of the family who brought us all here today. A family who is taking the unimaginable and turning it into an opportunity to be a voice for other children and families. When we were planning this event, I asked if they wanted to share anything with each of you. Anonymously was suggested, but when they sent me their words, they said, "If you want to say our names, it's okay." None of us are ashamed. Maybe it will encourage someone to come forward. That is a true reminder that those of us working in the field do not own their stories. Those experiencing the abuse do. So, Deb, Fella, and Angie, thank you for bringing us all here today. I hope you know how much your strength is recognized and admired. A look from the victim side. Child abuse affects the entire family, and it can happen to any family. Please don't ever say that wouldn't happen to us. It's a pain so deep you wouldn't wish it on anyone. Talk to your child. Tell them about body safety, what's okay, what's not okay. Remind them that's their body, they're the boss. Remind them of good secrets and bad secrets. Most importantly, if they tell you something happened, stay calm and listen. Tell them how proud you are of them for being so brave to share it. You're going to want to scream, throw things, beat things. Don't. Wait until you're alone. Don't let the child see that. Don't keep asking questions. Don't make them say it over and over again. Let them tell it in their own words. Please don't make the child feel ashamed or your family. They nor you did anything wrong. Through the long process, you're not going to agree with how things may go. Ask questions, stay on top of it. We were a pain, ask Chief Warnick. It can take weeks before an arrest is made and over a year before it goes to trial. You'll be so frustrated, so angry because this is something like nothing else you'll experience. You'll feel like the accused has more rights than the victim. There were times we didn't agree with Stephanie, but she made sure the law was followed every step of the way. There was no way we wanted Hunter to have to testify, but he had to. Thank God for Tanya and the Children's Advocacy Center. They kept us sane. The CAC and Stephanie explained every step along the way. Tanya was with us at every court hearing and a 2-day trial. Your heart will be breaking as the child is taken into the courtroom to testify. Trust in them. Kids don't lie. In our case, justice was served, but that doesn't mean it's over. Trust me when I say you will never get over it. Child abuse used to be brushed under the rug. No one wanted to talk about it. They felt shame. There are still some that feel that way. We believe every child that is brave enough to tell is a warrior. Remember, an abuser can be anyone. Trust your child. If they are brave enough to tell, you be brave enough to move forward and get justice for your child. Thank you everyone for coming today. Be their voice and protect our kids. honey. Do you want to come over? Do you want to stand over here? It's only fitting to end this with the most important message of the morning. A message from one of the brave warriors this mom and grandparents talked about, my friend Hunter. We all need to remember how simple it is to prevent child abuse, and he couldn't have said it any better. To all of the kids, don't be afraid to tell. If you know other kids are being abused, tell someone. Don't ever be afraid to tell the truth. To all the adults out there, don't abuse a child. No one should ever abuse a child. Child abuse is wrong. Help to prevent it. Please take Hunter's words with you when you leave today and keep them as a reminder that when we ask the question, how are the children, our answer should always be the unwavering truth that yes, all the children are well. He's gonna let this balloon go. It might take a minute.
Right. I'd just like to say a couple quick things. I'd like to thank our district attorney, Stephanie, and her assistant, Ashley, for all they did for our family. Like I said before, there was times we may have doubted them, but they followed everything right to the T and made it so it could happen. Josh for the sound system, and the CAC, Director McCall and Tanya. I just don't know, I just can't say enough words about these people. I'll tell you that they're fantastic, absolutely fantastic. They did everything that they possibly could and above that, and they even are now. They're just super fantastic people to work with. They take care of the children excellent. And I want to say if there's anything, any place that you want to ever donate anything to, any monies, any sort, please do so to the Children Advocacy Center, because they need all that they can get, like waters, fruit boxes, fruit things to eat, any snacks, anything like that. And money would greatly help them immensely. So thank you guys very much for everything you did. I'd like to thank Chief Pat Warnick and Officer Kevin Sipe for everything that he did on posting on the page there to challenge everybody. And this is only going to be this is the beginning of many years, I hope, because we're going to do this annually. And the last thing I'd like to talk about, I'd like to just say about a very special lady who was actually a very special advocate to the children. And she came up with this idea and did all this organizing on her own. And I'm very, very, very proud to say that that is my wife, Debbie. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you very much. Good job.
Stephanie and Wayne, would I be able to borrow you for a moment? Well, that concludes our ceremony. Thank you all. I look forward to next year, bigger and better, but trust me when I say every year, all day, please be aware that you are making this change. So thank you. Oh, and the bus is behind.